Well, you know that saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Well, what if life gives you rotten lemons? Then what are you supposed to do? It's something like life giving you sour grapes. Now, nobody wants to make wine with sour grapes because it's extra work and extra ingredients and all that. But this will end in a question. I'm going to give you a quick summary of what I've been through. In July 31st, 2023, my job closed down. Yellow Freight closed, and I got laid off. And I jumped right into the gig work, doing DoorDash, Uber Eats, Uber rides, Lyft rides, Grubhub. I was doing them all. I mostly settled on DoorDash because that was best for me and seemed to make the most money for me. It was paying my rent for me, which at the time was like $850, but it wasn't covering the car. I was covering insurance, I was covering gas, but not the car payment. So in July 2024, I was out door dashing, and after the lunch break, I come home, take a break, and then I go back out at dinner time. So when I go back out, my car's gone. They repoed it. So I had applied for Social Security disability back in January of 2024. This was July. Now, I begged and borrowed to cover my rent. I didn't steal. I just begged and borrowed. But it came a point I couldn't get any more. So I didn't even go to court. They evicted me. And then I was in denial the whole time. How can they evict me? I've never been evicted before, and I was kind of living in denial until the sheriff came to the door. And I had the clothes on my back. I had my CPAP machine, and I had my prescription medicine. That's all I had. And the maintenance guy from the apartment, they knew I was sitting in front of Dollar General store, so he brought my M65 field jacket because it was very cold. It was very cold when I was sitting out there. And then the police come and do a welfare check on me. Took me to a warming shelter. I had to go back and forth, night warming, day warming, blah, blah, blah. And then after I received some donations, I went and got a motel room. I was in and out of the motel pretty often. I did a couple stints where I just paid for a whole week. Did that twice. And then I just started staying awake. If I couldn't have a bed, I would stay awake all night. And I had a lot of those nights. But, and then I went to my friend's house up in Olmsted, Ohio. I stayed there about a month and a half, I think. And while I was there, I managed to fracture my femur. All it was a little twist, you know. But anyway, I come back and was going through the same hotel stuff, sitting and wondering what to do. And I made the sign, cardboard sign, and went out on the road, and I made $300 in a couple of hours. So, you know, it got me almost a whole week in the motel. And I've been putting my story out on the Nextdoor app. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it or not. But, you know, it's supposed to be community. It's turned into mostly cats and dogs now. But I learned on there, when I first got kicked out, that I could call Social Security and tell them about my hardship. Which at this time, the hardship was homelessness. If I would have known before I was evicted, I could have called and told them my hardship of I got to pay my rent. And things would have been very, very different. But that's not what happened. But, you know, after another stint staying at motels and sitting up all night in motel lobbies and staying up all night sitting outside, somebody finally offered to take me to Salvation Army. You know, they thought it was a shelter, and I looked at the website and I thought it was a shelter too, but all they had there was lunch. You know, they told me I was welcome to stay for lunch, but it was a brown bag lunch. So, no. That didn't sound very good. So I wasn't far from where the daytime warming shelter was. So I went there. And they were having open enrollment that day. So I got right in. You know, I got in with all the mentally ill people, the drinkers, the druggies, and the parolees. You know, it's culture shock. But I made it through. I persevered. After 3 months in the shelter, they helped me get this apartment that I'm in now. I don't like it very well. I like the neighborhood even less. But how do I get out of this? I have no idea. I'm getting tired of asking for money because I know nobody has extra funds these days to say, here you go, George, go get an apartment. You almost have to find a millionaire who wants to help people out. Yeah, that's like finding a pin in a haystack. So, after I've been through all that crap, I ask you, what would you do in this situation? What would you suggest I do? I mean, you can give me some ideas of what you'd like to, what you think would work, what you would do. Because so far, these rotten lemons ain't making me no lemonade. Sour grapes ain't making me no wine. So, I'd like your input. You know, what can I do besides beg for money? Which I really don't want to do that. But I'd like you guys all to subscribe to my channel and like the videos. That way YouTube is a goal for me to earn income. If y'all help me out by subscribing and liking the video, it goes a long way towards helping me. And as always, there's going to be 2 links in pinned comment. 1, you can buy me a coffee. Number 2, make a donation. It don't matter. I gave myself a $5 donation just to get the thing off the ground, and it's the only donation I got so far. But yeah, let me know what you think. What kind of ideas would you come up with in this situation? And what moves would you make in this situation? Because it is a rough situation. And, I know most of my audience has already heard my story, but I'm thinking about, future audiences as well, getting to hear a brief synopsis of it, like I just told you. And I just ask you to like and subscribe. And I wish you Godspeed. Throw me some ideas, please. Thank you. Have a good evening.